All right, it is day five of the 12 days of player development. And this question here is from Jessie Martinez. Jessie was at the 2025 Player Development Summit. She is currently working at IMG with high school students. Jessie, hope to see you at the 2026 Player Development Summit, which will be in Detroit. She asks, working at the high school level, so sessions aren't allowed to be mandatory. How do you get athletes to actually show up to seminars and workshops? All right, so thank you for asking that, Jessie. Yes, when I was in the role, sessions were a little more mandatory at the time. They are not mandatory at the high school level and at the collegiate level. And since sessions are not mandatory, we have to find a way to get the athletes there, right? Because this can be tough. If we have a speaker coming, if we have companies coming and nobody shows up, that's always bad ball, right? And so what I had to do when this happened, and this is how I went about it, is I had to remove myself from what I want to give them. These are things, I think this program would be cool. I think this would be great. I think this would be great, right? But what can we do? What will they show up to see? And what I would do is I would create programming on what they're gonna show up to see, what would get them here. And then in that title, I would put in the foundations of what I wanted, right? I put the foundations of what I wanted. One way, Jessie, and anybody looking at this, mandatory sessions to get athletes to show up voluntary to sessions because they're not mandatory anymore is food. Get food there. They'll come for food. They'll come for food. Hey, just want to let y'all know we got some programming Thursday night. Before we go to programming, we're gonna have lunch for you all. Lunch will be blah, 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 blah. And then we'll go into some quick programming. You all will get what you need. Excited to provide value to you all. But I just want to let you know we got programming on Thursday. We'll have so-and-so for lunch. This person's going to bring, the programmer will be this. This is how it's going to help you. This is how it's going to provide value. Because you all have come to my office and asked me about this. You and you and you and you and you. You asked about it. So come here. It's here. I'm answering what y'all asked about. You say you aren't heard, so you're heard now. You see how I did that, right? I talked to them about food's going to be there. I talked about value, how value is in their lives. Hey, I heard you. You asked about it. I want to see you there, right? And you kind of walk them down there. I talked about this in the fourth day of player development, which you all can see here, where I talked about how someone asked, how do you use data to program intentionally? And one thing I did at the University of Houston is we took what the players wanted. The players said, we want this. I want to hear from this career. I want to hear from this person. I want to hear from this type of professional. I want this former player to come back. Awesome. We got these people back. Hey, we heard you. We heard you. And we are bringing programming that you want. What you want, right? So as I move myself away from programming, I want to hear what they want, right? You can have a survey. You can talk to them. Hey, we got this session. What would be a session that you and your teammates would like to show up to? Well, we really would like a session about budgeting. A lot of them are making money and now they don't have the money they made last year. So budgeting is great. Awesome. I'm not going to bring nobody in to talk about investing. Budgeting, right? So you want to get them, make them feel a piece of it, or you get a leadership group. Who attracts all the athletes? I'll never forget, I heard this story when I was a high school coach. Whenever this coach would take a program over, he would just let everybody eat. He would just go out there and get food. Hey, let's get them all food. And he would sit there and say, hey, I'm the head coach. Thank y'all for being here. I'm excited to coach you all. Let's eat. And what he would do is when they ate, he would sit there and watch who they all gravitated to. Who's the person that they're all going to? Who is that individual that everybody is just enamored by? Who are those individuals, right? So if you see this and you see that there's 5 people that stand out, awesome. You 5 come here. Hey, what program would y'all like? I want y'all to be leaders in this space. I want some programming that you want to hear about. You got to show up though. For me to do it, you got to show up. You got to bring your people with you. Boom, right? You do that. So one key is bringing the players in, right? Bringing the players in is one key. Making it player-led, player-focused, right? Taking the players' aspects. Another key is letting coaches know what the programming is. Coaches can help you, right? If they know what's coming up. Hey, coach, and just want to let you know, hey, coach, before you get started this week, I mentioned the staff meeting this Thursday. We're having someone talk about budgeting. I know you talked to me about some of your players and your players understanding budgeting and how it's causing pains for you, coach. So I just want to let you know that program is going to be there Thursday. So if you have any questions, let me know. Here's a flyer real quick for your players. They can QR code, sign in. We're going to have lunch there as well. We'd love for your position group to come by. Boom, you communicated with coaches. At University of Houston, I had the pleasure of the head coach, Tom Herman, making it a competition in between position groups. Well, man, it's great to see that the running backs group is at every program. It'd be nice if we had other people coming there, right? It'd be nice if other position groups are there, right? So I'm sitting there like, yes, I know what's happening, right? And so then more people come, right? Because I don't want to be the guy that walks in the meeting, hey, hey, well, where the DBs at, right? I want to be that person, right? So it was great there. But you want to get coaches involved as well. Get coaches involved. Hey, coach, once again, coach, hey, when you were a player, what was something that you want to learn? Or what are things that, I know when you talk to your players about off the field stuff, because you take time before every meeting to talk to them about their life. What is something that's coming up? What is something that you wish they knew, right? Get coaches involved. Let coaches help with that. And the main coach you need to do with the head coach. Spend time with your head coach. Hey, head coach, what do you want to run? How do you want to do this? What do you want to do? What program what do you think would be great for the players, coach? I want to get your insight on what we're doing. I used to have conversations with Major Applewhite when I was at the University of Houston, where we would sit down and go over programming, and he would say, hey, I like these programs. Let's do this too. I was talking to a couple of players. They mentioned this. Let's do this. Well, I have this speaker who can come in. Let me know. So get coaches involved. And if you can, get parents involved. Make a parent newsletter. Hey, parents, on Monday, parents, just want to let you all know on Thursday, we're having this workshop. Just want to get you all know what we're doing off the field that helps provide value and benefits your players. This is what we do. This is how we provide the value. Remember, we talked about this on your recruiting trip or whenever. This is what we're doing. This is how we're doing it. And this is a great, great aspect or a great, great opportunity for your athlete to come through and come see at this session or webinar, to show up or to get online, whatever it may be, right? And then lastly, if you can in your programming, invite former players, invite former athletes to be a part of the programming. Maybe they're the speaker, maybe they're leading a panel, maybe they're jumping on a session, maybe it's a lunch and learn, whatever it is, because now I can say, hey y'all, we have a former so-and-so, right? Insert mascot here. And they are here to spend time with you, to pour into you. We have a setup that they did not have, or maybe it wasn't as strengthened as it is now, where people can come and develop, and they see this role and they see what we're doing for you, and they want to support it because they know how important and they wish they had what we had there, right? So if you noticed anything in all of that language, I never ever pointed at the player. I never ever said, hey, you don't show up. Hey, I'm doing all this and you're not there, right? It was pulling them in by bringing other things in, selectively using your language, your words to bring them in. Is everybody going to come? No. But one thing I learned about mandatory programming as I got older and spent more years in the space is I didn't want everybody to show up, because if you don't want to be here, don't come. But I understand that there are some on the fence, right? I always see it as red, yellow, green, yellow, red. These are the ones that want to come. The ones in the yellow, thinking about it, and then the ones in the red don't want to come. And in Urban Meyer's book, which I have over there, when I worked for Tom Herman, he would always talk about how these teams were grouped in these deals. And he learned it from working with Coach Meyer, and it's in his book, Above the Line. But your team, 10% of the guys on your team or the players on your team are going to do the right thing. 80% are on the fence and they're impressionable, and then 10% are going to do the wrong thing. And so you want to get this 80% to go with this 10% so that you can get more people on your team doing the right thing, instead of that 10% at the bottom getting more of that 80%. And so what you want to do is, okay, I know 10% of the team doesn't want to come. Got it, right? But how much of this 80 can I get to come? That's the focus. How much of these people in the middle, how many of these athletes in the middle can I focus on to get to come to programming? And how do I do that? By language, by bringing in coaches, by bringing in parents, by bringing in former players, by telling the players, hey, we listen to you, and you're navigating them because that group is impressionable. All right, that is day 5 of the 12 days of player development. As I said, we'd love to see y'all at the 2026 Player Development Summit, and get my book on Amazon. It has a lot of stuff for you. As I always say, go out and create generational impact. Don't wait, create it today.